What's going on, Knicks family? This is Eddie C, the basketball zombie, coming at you with another live talking New York Knicks. Something that we love to do. Just come in here and have a space where we could talk about the New York Knicks. Talking about the young kids today, the young guns. What do you think their ceiling is? After these 3 games, what are your thoughts? What do you think these kids can bring to the table? But first, I just want to thank God for another day, just being able to be here with my family, being able to work, to provide for my family, and being able to have health and do the things that I love to do. One of those, I have a bunch of hobbies. One of those is talking New York Knicks with the New York Knicks fan base. So, praise to God for giving me another day so I can do what I like to do and be here to bring you some content in this channel, the Basketball Zombie channel, talking about the New York Knicks, talking about Summer League, talking about, the kids and what they can bring to the table. After these 3 games, what you've liked, what you haven't liked, and just come back and forth and talk about, the ceiling is what the title of this podcast is. The New York Knicks rookie ceiling. First of all, though, I want to give a big shout out to Tom Thibodeau because Tom Thibodeau, as you can see, he breathes basketball 24/7 nonstop. He doesn't stop. He just, he's here at the Summer League, on the sidelines, coaching, barking out things for the players to do. When there's at halftime, he's on the floor teaching them. When it's the end of the game, he's on the floor teaching them. So, a big shout out to my coach, Tom Thibodeau, because you can see that he wants to give 110%. And there's nothing more that I can ask for in a basketball coach than for him to be there for his team, be the father figure, be the leader of the team. And yeah, he brings everything to the table that I would like in a basketball coach. You can see that, this is something that he wants to leave on his legacy as one of the best coaches in the NBA. Last year, he won Coach of the Year. And, he brought a subpar team into the 4th seed of the playoffs. And, there's really not anything that you can't say that Tom Thibodeau didn't do last year that made a difference in our basketball team from where we came, the mediocrity that we had last year. But, getting into the title of the podcast, which is New York Knicks, young stars, the ceiling of the New York Knicks rookies, and what do you guys think these players can bring to the table when they get up to the big leagues, when they get up to the main team, and start playing real ball when the season starts for the New York Knicks. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to start off with Miles McBride because everybody's talked enough about Miles McBride. I'm going to leave him for a little bit later on in the show. But I'm going to start off with Quentin Grimes. There's a lot of talk about Quentin Grimes and if, again, the Knicks have made a mistake with drafting Quentin Grimes instead of drafting another player, instead of moving back to getting another player. They had the 19th and the 21st pick. They moved back to the 25th and drafted Quentin Grimes, where there was other players on the board still that probably other New York Knicks fans would have liked to see on their team. I can see where Quentin Grimes is leaving a lot to be desired in the Knicks' eyes, in the fans' eyes, because this is the first taste of NBA action for him, and he has seen, timid is not the word, but wide-eyed. I want to say that he's looked wide-eyed a little bit, a little tentative with his shot, which is the major plus for him, and I can see that, being something that can be worked upon and fixed. I'm still not one to down on the draft pick because it's so early. You know, there's still time. He still needs training camp. He still needs to do some other things. He still needs to work out. He still needs to do a lot of other things that can help his game when it comes to the season. But at first glance, the deficiencies are you can see that he doesn't have blow by speed. He's not somebody that's going to take it to the rack and take it with ferocity. At least we haven't seen that at the moment. But one thing you can say is that the guy has a nice shot. Like the guy has a nice shot. And when I see Quentin Grimes, guys, I actually see Danny Green. I mean, it's a carbon copy of Danny Green to me. I think Danny Green's about 6'6", probably. Also not a player that's going to take you off the dribble. You know, he's going to defend and he's going to shoot the three-point shot when he's open. That's something that Quentin Grimes is going to work his way into. He's going to be able to hit that shot when he's open, and he's going to be able to take that shot when he's open, when the guy finds him in the corners, when he finds him at the top of the key. The guy's going to make his shot. I don't have a doubt in my mind that he's not going to be a great shooter in the league. His defense at the moment is not up to par to the Danny Green comparison at all. I mean, Danny Green is a special defensive player. You know, he's been in the league for a lot of years. But if you look back at Danny Green's how do you say, his journey to the NBA, he wasn't a first-round pick either. I believe Danny Green was a second-round pick coming out of North Carolina. He probably had a stint in the G League or he had to play somewhere else, if I'm not mistaken. But he didn't come straight to the NBA and started playing straight basketball to the NBA. And now look at him, more than 10 years later into the league, he's still getting a great contract because everybody knows what he does. And that's a 3-and-D player, and you're going to need that type of guy in the playoffs. So Quentin Grimes is somebody like that. Quentin Grimes is somebody that when you give him time, when he gets seasoning, you already know what he's going to bring to the table, and he's going to just do that for the remainder of his career and play at a high level for a lot of years to come. So I don't want to get down on Quentin Grimes because he hasn't been showing this and that. Of course, as you would like for your players to play great basketball from the get, but it just sometimes doesn't happen that way. Sometimes, you know, these players take some time to get their bearings and start showing the promise that the front office sees in them when they draft these players, right, in the NBA draft. So I don't have a problem with him. Quentin Grimes is somebody that, you know, in due time, he's going to be a great player for us, coming off the bench, backing up RJ, somebody that can defend, somebody that can shoot the three. And I believe he's going to be that for a lot of years to come. And he's going to bring a lot of things to the table. But, you know, at the moment, it's just a summer league. This is just summer league, and there ain't nothing to it. You know, you got to give these guys time. And maybe some of the ferocity or some of the things that the other players are bringing to the table, the attributes that they're bringing to the table might rub off on certain players, and then all of a sudden they skyrocket. So I have nothing but faith in the front office because, you know, I see that their moves are calculated. They're not just picking somebody because, you know, he's the flavor of the month or because this is that. They're doing what they want to do. They're standing by their book, and I think that's a great way to build a team. Because when it really comes down to it, you have to make out a plan, and you have to go through that plan and don't derive from the plan. Because once you derive from the plan, that's when problems happen. So you know what you want. You know the type of personalities that you want on your team. You know the type of players that you're looking for. You know the type what positions you need. What your team is lacking. You know all these things, and you got to stand by the Bible. You got to stand by the book and look for those things. When it comes to free agency, when it comes to draft, when it comes to so on and so forth. And I think that's what they've done. Moving on from Quentin Grimes, I'm going to go with Jericho Sims. All right, Jericho Sims didn't have a spectacular game last week. What was it, Wednesday? He didn't have a spectacular game Wednesday, but he was a steady figure like he's been for the past 3 games. Defensive presence, rebounder, blocker, able to put some putbacks, alley-oops. And I think that's what he's also going to bring to the table for a very long time. One thing that I want to say about Jericho Sims is that I love his demeanor. His demeanor is, you know, flatline demeanor. He doesn't get too up. He doesn't get too down. And I really like that in a basketball player because you don't want people to get you riled up. You don't want to get feisty. You don't want to get these types of things when you're in the NBA because then people see that as a deficiency. People see that as, okay, if I could talk to this guy and I could get him riled up, I get into his head, then he might start playing in a different way, something that his coach is not wanting to do, something that's not going to behold him. So as long as you slow and steady with me, that's cool, man. That's what they call me, Steady Eddie. So I mean, that's the type of person I am as well. Like I'm a really cool, mellow guy, steady guy. I always stay, don't let people rile me up and stay the course. So this is what Jericho Sims is going to bring to the table, and I don't see that deriving anytime soon. He's an older player. He still has a lot to learn. He showed me some stuff, like when he went to the rim and he undershot it, like a little finger roll type deal. So he has some things to his game. One of the things that really caught my eye was when he had nowhere to go. He couldn't pass the ball to a point guard. Excuse me. He couldn't pass the ball to a point guard because they were all being locked down, and he had to dribble the ball up the floor, right? And he dribbled the ball up the floor, and it was he looked very smooth doing it. And that surprised me. I liked it a lot, and I think there's some promise there. As a little bit of a person that can get you dribble a little bit off his man, get into the lane, kind of, sort of, and do some things there when it comes to dribbling the basketball. And I really dig that part of his game. Hopefully, we can build that up, manifest that, and then we can see that in the games where he can become an asset as a passer, as a dribble passer, as somebody who can dribble to the basket and really dunk on somebody or get to the line and stuff like that. When you get people off their feet and dribble into the lane, pump fake a little bit, get a little, he has to work on his free throws, obviously, but if he can get that into his game and get some free throw attempts, it's gonna help his points per game percentage a lot. We might be looking at a double guy within the next 2-3 years if he's able to do that. So Jericho Sims, guy that has a great ceiling. To me, he has a great ceiling. We just have to nurture that and help him because he looks like he's eager to learn and he has the right demeanor to me. That's going to be a person that's going to want to learn. So, and all these guys that I talk about, when you guys view the show, put a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share this channel so we can grow and we can build it up, have some better visuals in the future, some guests in the future, things that'll better the channel, and we can have a nice space for you guys to come in and talk basketball with us. This is a live stream, so if anybody's wanting to come into the live, you can come in and we can chat about basketball. I'll put you on the screen, and we can talk some basketball on a one-on-one basis and see your points of view and stuff like that. So this is that's Jericho Sims. Again, I think somebody that we were surprised and happy to get at 58. And then I'm going to talk about the darling of the New York Knicks right now. I just want to say, people get up. I love it. I've been saying that Deuce McBride has been one of my favorite players since we drafted him because I knew the tenacity that he had. I seen his game and I saw what he can bring to the table, right? And obviously, when we drafted him, we didn't know who we were signing. We didn't know that Kemba was coming. We even didn't know if Derrick Rose was going to be our point guard. So, all we had at that moment was Emmanuel Quickly. And as you can see, there's some things that Emmanuel Quickly still needs to learn being a point guard in the NBA, right? So, obviously, this was a position of need at the moment. And, he brought a lot of spunk to the Summer League this year. He's been one of the players that has caught my eye and many people's eyes. I think his talent is undeniable. His tenacity, the way he plays the basketball game is something that anybody can see. So obviously he's been getting the praises, and he should be somebody that should get these praises and should get all the accolades that he's been getting at the moment. But Miles McBride, really tenacious defender. You can see how he covers a lot of ground on the floor. Really a kid that has a chip on his shoulder because he feels like he should have been picked earlier. He feels like he's a player that's a better player than a lot of players that were picked in front of him, and he's coming in to prove a point. The New York Knicks, signed him to a guaranteed 3-year deal with a 3rd-year team option. So the Knicks knew what they had in him, and they signed him up. Didn't want to let him go. Didn't want to give him, a deal that he can be, maybe signed by another team within the next year, next 2 years, right? Since they're second round picks, they're not guaranteed a contract. But we signed him up. We locked him up for 3 years, and he ain't going nowhere for 3 years, right? But the kid, came out the other day, shot 6 for 6 from the 3-point line. That's not gonna happen every day, guys. Like, 6 for 6. He did a good job catching, shooting, which is a great attribute for him to have, because we know that he can get into the spot in the mid range, shoot the jumper. But if he can get a catch and shoot shot from wherever on the floor, he's gonna be a very dangerous player. His athleticism, I think he has great athleticism, even though he's only 6'2". I've seen him dunk. There was one play in college where he was guarding Cade Cunningham, and basically we're going to have actually a matchup against Cade Cunningham tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be playing the Detroit Pistons, so we're going to see that matchup again. And obviously they're going to be playing against each other. I would put McBride on Cade Cunningham for some parts of the game, so that he can show what he did in college. And he just stripped them from the ball and went up. Cade also came down to contest and basically just dunked it on his face. So his athletic ability, being the 6'2", to me is a great attribute for him to have. He has a lot of boxes checked as a player. The defense, the athleticism, the shot, the wingspan. He has a 6'8" wingspan at 6'2". So listen, the guy has long arms. He can defend. I think he could defend bigger than his position. So if he gets switched up on 2, I think he can hold his own on a 2 guard, not necessarily only guard point guards in the NBA. So, he's somebody that can switch off and he won't be manhandled. Tough kid, comes from a fat football background. So, he's tough as nails and he's going to bring it every day. So, there's not everything that's been said about Miles McBride. Everybody's already been on the net, has already heard what Miles McBride is all about. There's a lot of people that are touting him, me, myself as well. And I'm just happy to have him on my team. Hopefully he doesn't slide back, get any bad habits, but I don't see that happening with him. I see him, coming in. Obviously he's behind Kemba, he's behind Derrick Rose, but some games those guys are not going to be available and he's going to be able to get some minutes. And that's what I think is going to help Deuce McBride compared to Quentin Grimes, compared to Jericho Sims. So draft pick ceiling, I think the biggest ceiling at the moment is Miles McBride, because he's going to have an easier way to playing time due to the injury history of our point guard position. We're going to see him a lot on the floor. He's going to be able to do some things. He's going to be able to give us some nice plays, and being able to play with Quickly and Obi already, he's going to have some chemistry with those guys, and that second unit is going to be a very nice thing to see with Deuce McBride, with Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, and whoever else they want to put in those spots, Nerlens Noel to back them up. That's going to be very nice to see when he does come through. So, guys, I'm going to keep it short today. Hopefully on Friday we come up with another dub and keep this rolling so that we can, maybe go for the championship in the Summer League, something that we should strive for. We have one of the better teams in the Summer League. We have 2 of the better players in the Summer League, so we should be able to do some very nice things in the Summer League and come away with a Summer League championship. It'll be a great start to our season. Great start. Nice taste in the mouth for some of the young players to taste winning, what it feels like to win a championship in the Summer League, and so on and so forth. please comment anything you like. I'll be sure to get back to you. Write anything that you want to talk about. If you have any ideas, if you guys want to come in and on the live stream and share with me some thoughts, you can write it down in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But yeah, we're gonna keep it short today. Not a lot to talk about in the NBA, in the Knicks universe at the moment. But I just wanted to get on and say hello and talk to you guys about the Knicks. And let you know, that I'm here. I'm giving you guys content, anything that I could do to try to, appease to the hungry New York Knicks fans. Eddie the basketball zombie is going to do. So, again, please subscribe, like, share, help grow the channel so we can get better. We can have better visuals. This is at the moment, temporary. Hopefully I'll have better visuals for you guys, and you can have a better experience. Have people on the show so that we can partake in thoughts back and forth, and just make it more pleasant treat for everybody. But you know how it is. This is Eddie C, the basketball zombie, and I'm just keep giving y'all. I'm gonna keep giving y'all the thoughts that I have, my takes, and and everything that I could do to either you like or you don't like what it is that I do or don't like what I do. But I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna give it to you raw. And this is all I know how to do. You know what I'm saying? A true and blue Knick fan. And this is what I do for you guys so we can pass the time and talk New York Knicks. So again, please share, like, subscribe. This is all for today, but I'll be back shortly with another stream. Hopefully we can get some more people in the house and talk some more basketball. But this is gonna be it, guys. This is Eddie C, the basketball zombie. Take care, you guys. Take care of the families. Take care of everybody. Love the New York Knicks. New York Knicks, we up. All right. Peace.